Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and welcome to the Parrot Paradise Amphitheater. How's everyone doing today? Some birds to share with everybody. So take a big deep breath. How's everyone doing today? Thank you all for joining us here on Safari, making our presentation a part of your day. That's thanks to your visit, we're able to continue to do the work that we do year-round, working in breeding, research, education, and conservation. So a conservation project near and dear to our heart is our Blue-Throated Macaw Recovery Program. We'd love to introduce you to Benny, one of our ambassadors of this program. Let's hear it for him today. Partnership with the World Parrot Trust, looking towards the future of blue throats not only here on site, but we're hoping to impact their wild numbers in the near future as well. So taking a step closer in 2018, we welcomed our very first 2 hatched chicks here at the park, and Benny was in fact one of those chicks. Now we've been a little bit busy ever since then, though we've added an additional 8 more chicks to our flock. So what could 10 chicks mean to this species? Well, unfortunately for our little Benny here, he is a critically endangered species. Blue-throated macaws can only be found in the wilds of Bolivia, and their numbers there are ranging under 500 individuals. So 10 little birds could certainly mean a lot to the future of this type of bird, so we'd love to thank you once again for waking up, joining us on Safari, and deciding to become conservationists with us. Please give yourselves a big round of applause.
You notice that the macaws here on Safari have bright, bold, beautiful colors. Now, although these colors may seem striking to us, they actually blend in quite well with the rainforest. The green blends in with the leaves, the blue with the shadow, and finally the red and yellow blend in quite well with the fruits around them. Next up, a feature that all parrots have is their large hooked beaks. Now they can use this beak to crack open large nuts, and they can even use it as a third foot. Now this makes them incredibly acrobatic by nature, allowing them to navigate through the canopies of the rainforest that they call home. Next up, they have what are called zygodactyl toes. Now you may be wondering, what does that big, long, fancy word mean? Well, essentially, it means that they have 2 toes pointing up and 2 toes pointing down. This allows them to have an exceptional grip on their perches, and they can even use their feet as hands. So they'll use their feet to grab large pieces of fruit, draw it up to their mouths, and take small bites out of it. Finally, the most fascinating feature about macaws is that they can fly at speeds ranging between 50 to 60 kilometers per hour. To navigate this flight, they'll use their long, beautiful tails, and finally, when fanned out, they can use their tails as a form of brake to create a nice, soft landing. Well, I do believe our 2 macaws did an excellent job showing off for us today, so let's hear it for them. An interesting fact about these guys is that there are actually more chickens on our planet than there are humans. They say that for every human, there are about 3 chickens. They've done a wonderful job for us today. Children. They do quite often use it as a territorial call, so how that would work is they'd fly to the edge of their territory, laugh out nice and loud, wait for their neighboring kookaburras to laugh back. This would establish where one territory ends and the next one does begin. Now, if you've never seen a kookaburra, but you find him to look a little bit familiar to you, you may have seen a belted kingfisher in our area. These guys are, in fact, the largest member of the kingfisher family. Now, unlike kingfishers, he looks as being a laughing kookaburra, so I'm really hoping he has a bit of a chuckle for us today. A little chuckle. It's a little different than the ones we usually see here in Canada, and this because the one we have on Safari is a common crow species found in Africa. He's done a wonderful job with that first can. Alright, now although these crows may look a little different, a common feature that all crows and desire to get rid of germs and diseases. They do this by feeding on roadkill and picking up after the garbage that we as humans leave behind. Now this makes crows incredibly intelligent beings, as they're not only protecting us humans, but they're also protecting other species as well. African Lion Safari took the initiative to switch over to biodegradable straws, replace our plastic bags with paper ones, and finally, the benches you'll come across here in Safari are made from recycled milk jugs. Now, an easy way we can all take care of our planet is through recycling, so that all of us can coexist in a cleaner environment. I like to say if a crow can do it, so can you. You've done a wonderful job first. 35 different toucan species out there, and of those 35 different species, the Swainson's or chestnut mandible toucan is the second largest toucan species out there. A feature you may have noticed, Papaya, is her noticeably large bill. Now her bill is about 4 times the size of her skull, and longer and more curved bill when compared to the females. Toucans can also use their bill for competition, nest sites, reaching out for fruits that are far away from them, and scaring off predators. Now all this may sound quite amazing, but my favorite fact about the toucan's bill is that it can use it for thermoregulation. So, much like the radiator of a car, the toucan can use its bill to regulate its body.
Now, by far, one of the most fascinating things about birds is their ability to fly. But we're first off going to say, of course, not every single type of bird can, in fact, fly. Now, why do birds fly? Well, of course, it is a means of survival. Finding food, escaping predation, seeking shelter, bearings, looking around. Much like an airplane, birds often will want to launch themselves up into the wind, taking away a lot of the power from her muscles and using the wind to her advantage. Now, it's not overly windy. As she takes off too, you'll notice that we talked earlier in our presentation how these birds use their tails in flight, and it's going to be crucial to her in steering and in landing if she ever decides to take a flight for us today. All right, FIFA, 15-minute presentation. Off and away you go. Are you thinking about it? Thinking about it. We, as her trainers, are kind of like an athlete's trainer. It does take some time whenever we're muscling up our birds, especially when she was younger, teaching her what you would think would become instinctual to a parrot, which would be landing. And it does take a little practice. Every once in a while, there is a crash landing. What do you say? Here it is. Well worth the wait. Out come the brakes. And she's done it for us. Let's hear it for her.
Let's welcome our yellow-crowned Amazon, our star of the presentation, Eddie.
Loves showing off for all of our guests. Eddie, why don't you welcome everyone? Greeting, and Eddie is a little bit of a nosy bird, often asking this question to everyone. I think she's worried about missing out on anything, especially her favorite treat. Now, we mentioned her name is Eddie. She does say it. It always comes with a bit of a hello, but let's hear it. Great way to get our attention when she wants it is by saying those exact 2 words together, and it works often when she wants to play her favorite game. What is Eddie's favorite game? Well, I think you'll figure it out. Likes to be tickled. Now, just like you and I, when little Eddie is tickled, she finds that quite funny. It's a few chuckles out of her. Now, looking at Eddie, you cannot tell if she's a male or female. The parrot family, most species, right? Okay, well, flirting doesn't stop there for this young lady. Next up, give him a kiss. Very flirtatious young lady. Now, one thing that we do to survive these hot safari days on safari is drink a lot of water. So much, in fact, Eddie has heard us with that glass of water in hand so many times she's picked up on the sound effect. Some good chug-a-lugs. Now, parrots are known for their abilities to sing, so she has a couple of tunes in store. We'll warm up her voice. Perfectly in tune to me. All right, first tune up for you all is a bit of our national anthem. Why, you might be wondering? Well, Eddie hatched here in Canada. She's very proud of the fact, so let's hear that. Not all the words, none of the rhythm, but not too bad for